Hi everyone! Wait, where's Nopal and Vicky?
I think. Oh. Come on.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up?
Hello. Introduce my name is Rafli Marhas Sutada and my friends.
I go by the name Ahmad Noval, represent West Bekasi.
Okay.
And my name is Zika Ferdiansyah.
I'm Chelsea! And I'm Amalia!
And I'm Keisha Octavella. We are from group
5!
and today we'll present the topic Power and Economic Organization from Power and Society by Brigid C. Harrison. This chapter explains the closer link between power and economic organization in a country. Basically, those who control financial resources often have significant influence over political and society decisions. In short, money and power usually go hand in hand. To make it clearer, let's take an example. In many countries, giant companies like tech firms or oil corporations often influence government decisions. For example, lobbying for lower taxes or favorable regulations. This shows that whoever holds economic resources often holds political leverage as well. Understanding this link help us see what studying economics is not about money, but also about power relationship in society.
Fundamental economic question. In economics, there are three fundamental questions we always ask. First, what should be production? Second, how should it be production? And third, for whom should it be production? The answer to the question determines how limited resources are distributed to meet society needs. For example, a government might have to choose whether prioritize renewable energy and social assistance. Let's imagine a real-life scenario. If a country has limited funds, it has to decide whether to invest in building more highways, improving public health care, or funding renewable energy. The choice so how to choose three basic questions affect people's everyday lives. It's not only about producing things, it's about what to need get prioritized first. Thank you.
Type of economic system. When it comes to economic system, there are a few main types. Market economies rely on price and profit to guide production decision. Planet economies depend on the government to decide what to produce and how it distributed. Most countries, including the United States, use a mixed economy, which combines the free market with government regulation.
Even in countries that favor free markets, the government still plays a crucial role. It sets rules to protect workers and consumers, maintains currency stability, and provides public services like infrastructure, healthcare, and education. This balance helps prevent abuse, inequality, and market failures, keeping the economy fair and stable. Government intervention also includes things we sometimes take for granted, like setting minimum wage, funding public school, or regulating price of basic necessities. Without this regulation, powerful corporations might dominate the market and small business or worker could suffer. This balance between the private sector and government oversight is what keeps the system fair and sustainable in the long run.
Major economic theories. Several economics theories have influenced government policies over time. Classical economic or laissez-faire suggests minimal government intervention. Keynesian economics argues that during recessions, government should lower tax and increase spending to boost demand. Supply-side economics focuses on supporting producers to drive in investment and job growth. And monetarism, promoted by Milton Friedman, emphasizes controlling the money supply to stabilize inflation. For example, the New Deal during the Great Depression followed Keynesian ideas. Reagan in 1980s promote supply-side policies, and Obama used large stimulus spending during the 28 financial crisis. These theories we mentioned didn't just stay on paper, they shape real policies. For instance, during the Great Depression in 1930s, the New Deal invested heavily in public projects to create jobs. Meanwhile, in 1980s, Reagan's supply-side economics cut taxes for businesses, hoping they'd invest more and hire more workers. This historical case showed that economic ideas directly impact people's lives, from jobs to prices to overall growth.
Indicators, real cases, and closing. To measure the economy, we often use the GDP, but it has limitation because it doesn't account for income inequality or overall well-being. Big corporations also hold great power. For instance, the AIG scandal during the 2008 crisis showed the risk of concentrating too much power in a few hands. This highlights the need for transparency and proper regulation. In conclusion, economic power is essential but must be balanced with fair rules to avoid harming society. Another important point about GDP is that a country can have a growing GDP but still face problems like high poverty or inequality. That's why many experts today suggest using additional indicators like the Human Development Index to measure progress. And when it comes to corporate scandals like AIG in 2008, it's a strong reminder that transparency and accountability are not just ideals. They are essential to prevent crisis. In the end, having a fair economic system is not only about growth, but also about equity and stability for everyone. Thank you for watching and God bless you. God bless all. Keep your health. Don't forget to eat. Yeah, thank you, man.